of operations, whether it is for this, for financial transactions. Our chief guest is now the chairman of the Bombay Stock Exchange. So a lot of these financial transactions are happening at the back end, and milliseconds matter there in terms of who is making money and who is losing money, right? So you have atomic clocks at the back end, tracking the timing of these things for synchronizing your transmission line systems. So we have a big initiative going on. So we are in discussions with the various defense forces, with the Navy. In fact, the Navy Western Command in charge, uh, Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan, he came down with his team. He just flew from Mumbai to Tirupati with his team, spent a full day here. They invited us, seven of us, 6 or 7 of us went and spent 1.5 days, went into submarines, went into fighter ships to start understanding the kinds of problems they would like us to see. So one of the things, since we have a first generation IIT director here, former director, is a lot of these people are saying, when we go to first generation IITs, they're so spread thin and so saturated that sometimes we find it very difficult to wade through the bureaucracy and all that there. And we are finding the newer IITs are much more nimble and, fire in the belly to grab some of these opportunities. So we are starting to talk to them. Okay. So these are the opportunities that we are having, that we're working on. And then applied AI, once again, uh, the lot of applications of AI, whether it's in agriculture, all domains, health, all these domains, we thought we should focus on applied AI rather than fundamental AI when we're starting the school. So these two are in discussions with Mehta family for advanced stages. I think should be tying up this funding. They give substantial funding for this thing, anywhere from 30 to 50 crores for each of the schools. They've already set up 8 schools in 6 other IITs. Uh, and then we're also trying to create a strong ecosystem for our students. Uh, One of the things that we said, the first 5, 7 years, we focused on establishing our academic programs. Now we're in the next phase where we need to start much more work aggressively in our startup ecosystem and so on, which we've been a little slow in getting off because consciously we didn't want from day one to start talking only about that without laying a strong academic foundation in the institute. So now we are on that front, and uh, we are uh, we have the institute incubation and innovation council, not council, center, that a Section 8 company to promote these activities. And we are setting up a Makers Lab. Makers Lab, where the students can walk in with an idea and walk out with a product, right? Uh, the phase A of the Makers Lab is ready for inauguration. Kia Motors has funded us about 20 crores from the CSR funding to set up the Makers Lab. So I went and visited what Dr. Kiran, uh, he's been spearheading this initiative, and most of the equipment has come. It's almost installed. Maybe anytime next month, we should be inaugurating this phase A of the Makers Lab. I'm calling this phase A because we in the South Campus Lab 2 building where we are setting it up. But across the road, we're going to build a research park. Okay, we have 530 acres between the highway and the mountain and 19 acres on the other side of the road. We set that aside for creating a research park, and we just appointed the architect to do the master plan and the design of the first research park building. So, IIT Tirupati has been put in charge of creating the detailed project report for all the 6 new IITs, the third generation IITs, DPR. Usually there is an agency called EDSIL, which has been preparing DPRs for any new institution, centrally funded institution, whether it's IIT or NIT or Triple IT or IIM or Central University. But the first time, ministry said, we're not happy with the DPRs. Can you prepare your own DPR and put IIT Tirupati in charge? So we had prepared the DPR for the phase for the all the 6 IITs. Then they said, you do it in 2 phases. You finish phase A, come back. So again, we went with phase B DPR. Again, IIT Tirupati is put in charge, and we came up with the budgets and got it approved for the phase B. right? So the designs for the phase B or architectural designs are completed. Now we are doing the detailed design, structural and services design. So we're hoping in the next 2, 3 months we let out the contracts for phase B. Essentially, we'll be doubling whole campus. Whatever buildings you see now, whether it is academic buildings, residential buildings, the hostels, all this and the infrastructure in the campus will be doubling. So what we did at this time is when we got into phase B, this is the suggestion of our joint secretary Soumya Gupta. She said, why did we put in a request for a research park for each of these IITs? She said, I don't know whether the finance ministry will push it through, but let's give it a try. So we did that. And so on behalf of the ministry, I had made the presentation. And luckily, DST supported this very much. So all of us are getting a 15,000 square meters, about 160,000 square feet research park building in each of the new IITs, the 5 IITs. So 5 IITs, Goa still does not have land. So we are treating that separately. Hopefully, their land issue should be resolved soon. They may get only 100 acres. Again, I'm on the committee to select the land for them. So the research park across is 19 acres. Just to give you a reference point, the biggest academic research park in the country is at IIT Madras, right? It is in a 12-acre plot with 1.2 million square feet built-up space. Ours is 19 acres, okay? And we have appointed our master plan is almost done to eventually to build about 1 million square feet of space of research park space. Immediately we're building with Kia money, we can build about 25,000 square meters more, the square feet, and 160,000 from the Ministry of Education's grant they've given us. So we're building about 185,000 square feet, 180 to 185,000 square feet research park building, phase A. And then we'll have to raise money for the other phases as we go forward. So all these things are going to be happening. So next 3 years, you'll see a lot of construction happening on the campus. Now, if you think because we are a new campus, all the construction going on, every time I go to Bombay, I see so much construction happening there, right? All the old IITs, even the first generation IITs, they look like construction sites with so much construction happening. There, they have 2,500 crores worth of construction happening at Bombay campus. I was there recently. It so happens all those guys driving their construction are all my students at IIT Bombay, former IIT Madras students who are now associate deans and deans driving this. So that's why I get some detailed information. So this is on the academic front. So in this phase, next phase, what are we building? In the academic zone, we're building 2 more buildings. One which will have departments like electrical engineering, and few other departments will move in there. Ground plus 5 stories, 6-story building. And then we're going to build another building with all the services required for chemistry and biological kind of thing, because the kinds of services you need to put in there, return air requirements, all that are very different. So these buildings are being designed. So this is another big advantage of being a new institute is we have a lot of lessons learned from an older institute, what to do, what not to do. I keep telling, every time I go visit any campus anywhere in the world, I go around seeing what is there, and I say I do it for 2 reasons: to see what to do and what not to do also. Okay, so we're going to be building 2 of those buildings. Then we're going to build a library building. We call it a knowledge center now, and we're going to build a convention center which will have multiple halls, a 700 to 800 seater hall, plus another 300, couple of 120 seaters, couple of 60 seaters, with exhibition space. All that is going to be built in the academic zone. We're building 2 hostels. We're building ground plus 6 stories, right? Hostel buildings, 6 stories totally. A girls' hostel and a boys' hostel, 700-seater girls' hostel and a 600-seater boys' hostel. Other way around? Other way around, okay. So this will have both single rooms and double rooms in these hostels. And then we're building housing for faculty and staff, plus a married student housing. Okay, we're about 60 apartments in married student housing. And then we'll be doubling the current housing for faculty and staff. So these are all designs or almost the architectural, and then an indoor stadium and an OAT plus the sports facilities, including a 5,000 capacity OAT, open air theater, then track field, then what is cricket stadium, then hockey, football, and bunch of volleyball and basketball courts, and then an indoor stadium which will house racquetball and shuttle and weightlifting and all these things. So this is what is going to happen. We're going to be spending over 1,200 crores to bring all this infrastructure in. We're still trying to convince the ministry that we need a swimming pool. Ministry has put swimming pool as a negative list for whatever reason they're thinking, but we are working on that. So a lot of exciting things happening, both at the central level, at the state level. Okay, opportunities that are coming up. So many missions the center has, and we are plugged into almost every mission that the government of India has, whether it is the under the interdisciplinary cyber physical systems mission, we have the technology innovation hub here. Under the India Semiconductor mission, we have a major project on quantum communication. I'm sorry, in under the National Quantum Mission, we have a project, 25 crore project on quantum communication. Then under the India Semiconductor Mission, they're trying to set up about 8 or 10 centers of excellence for semiconductor related activities. So one of the centers of excellence we are pitching to be on electric test at IIT Tirupati. Right, it's an advanced stage. Professor Murthy and these people are working on that. And so on the hydrogen mission, also we are hoping to get one of the centers of excellence here. So you name it, in almost every mission we are participating as an institution. So it's really exciting at the to be in all these various activities. We have a tech-savvy chief minister, Sri Chandrababu Naidu, who has been driving a lot of initiatives, and he's been involving our institutes in many of these institutions, especially on the Quantum Valley, Amravati Quantum Valley. Where the chief minister, he says, of course, he did really make Hyderabad a major IT hub because of his initiatives and vision. Hyderabad has become a major IT hub. He says we have to go beyond that. We get into deep tech and quantum and so on. So we've been having and the rate at which it's progressing, it's amazing. It's very heartening. It's just 1 year back. This whole dialogue started to set up this Amravati Quantum Valley, and already the building to house the biggest quantum computer. Initially, it was 156 qubit. Finally, we'll have to see. Most probably, it may be a 122 qubit IBM machine that's going to be coming in to be housed in Amravati. The building is coming up. I happen to chair the expert committee on implementing the Quantum Valley. So I was there yesterday, reviewing the progress. The IBM team from US was there. We were reviewing the progress. Yesterday, we had the launch of the quantum reference centers. They've created 2 quantum reference centers. Quantum, you need dilution refrigerators to take temperatures to 0.1 Kelvin degree level. You need helium-3, helium-4, all these things to make it happen. So right now, all these dilution refrigerators are being imported, for various other applications. Apparently, it takes anywhere from 8 months to 1 year to get a dilution refrigerator into the country. Now they want to start making those things. Then, you have to have, and what is interesting is almost everyone is now converging to the Amravati Quantum Valley. And we had IIT Bombay people there yesterday. We had DRDO people supplying various components that completely Indian, 70% to 80% of the components were made in India for this quantum reference center computer that they set up there. Okay, they got it fabricated. This company called Qubit Force, which has made this happen. Uh, it was very inspiring to see the rate at which, and the chief minister personally drives at every meeting. He's there spending time and so on. So it's a great opportunity for us. The space city is coming up, as I told you, nearby, where we could be taking made a part. The quantum valley. So yesterday, the meeting, chief minister called me and he said, "I want a branch campus of IIT Tirupati in Amaravati." Okay, and he said, "Tomorrow you go back, you start the process." And he said today morning he was going to call Dharmendra Pradhan ji and have a call with him to initiate the process. So these are all opportunities that are coming up, and we should make use of this opportunity to uh, you know to create all this ecosystem that here they're setting up the defense corridors in the country, and they're setting up 5 defense corridors, not country, in the state, sorry, the state. The naval defense corridors coming south of Vizag, the aerospace defense corridors coming up near Anantapur, because it's close to Bangalore. There's a lot of aerospace related industries out of Bangalore, so they can get the people there. And then, so like this, they created 5 defense corridors. One of the corridors is a research corridor. And that research corridor is Tirupati. Why is it in Tirupati? Because IIT and IISER is here, right? And the state is also thinking about creating a major initiative on deep tech research. They're calling it AP First. And that also, we have convinced the chief minister, Dr. Satish Shetty, and I had a meeting with him that he should locate it in Tirupati because of the advantage of IIT and IISER being present, which I think another few weeks you will see an announcement with the cabinet approval and all those things. So a lot of exciting, of course, it means a lot of work for all of us. But when the opportunity comes, if you don't live up to it, and just as I was coming here, before I received Dr. Subhashish in my office, I got a letter from the ministry that they want to set up 5 academic cities in the country. Right? I think the finance minister announced in a budget speech that they want to set up 5 academic cities in the country, and they want IIT Tirupati to lead that initiative on planning that. Okay, so uh, so anyway, I have to go read the letter properly, exactly what they want. I just saw it land up on my table. Uh, uh, so so if you see me most of the time outside the campus, traveling every week, because of all these initiatives have to be driven, uh, and uh, and the opportunities when are there. If we don't get them, we lose them, right? Uh, like Quantum Valley, whole idea was seeded by the IIT Hyderabad, the IIT Madras director Kamakoti with our chief minister. But then if you don't show up, then IIT Madras will take over the whole of Andhra Pradesh's Quantum Valley. The thing. So we are also now part of the Quantum Valley initiative. He chairs one committee of the Quantum Valley. I chair the other committee of the Quantum Valley. So we, so so I want to tell our students. Uh, there have been a lot of hackathons happening, but I see our students taking part in this quantum hackathons and all that, right? And so I request all of you to be more proactive and make use of this opportunity. Uh, and and since we are driving some of these initiatives, we can make some of you are coming want to do startups and all that. We can get you all the right contacts to do that. To showcase the deep tech ecosystem in the country, the government of India is going to be this initiative called Bharat Innovates. So in Nice, France, June 14th to 16th, they're going to hold the Bharat Innovates event. It's being coordinated by IIT Bombay, but all the IITs are involved. There were many verticals, about 13 verticals, and IIT Tirupati was put in charge of one of the verticals on what is that? Disaster management, resilient infrastructure. And our team is going to be going to Nice, France, for the Bharat Innovates event, along with all other people. They're taking about 120 Indian startups to showcase to Europe the strong startup ecosystem. Once again, we were asked to this thing. Just like we had the G20 a few years back, now there is a BRICS. India is chairing the BRICS events this year, and the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. But now we have BRICS Plus, so there are 11 countries involved in BRICS Plus, and they may have many working groups. So we got a call from the ministry last week that the working group on geospatial technologies, they want to host their meetings in Tirupati in end of July. Okay, and they've asked IIT Tirupati to again anchor this BRICS meet here in Tirupati. End of July, we'll be doing it. So we're becoming a major center for all these various activities. So a lot of things are happening, and I request the students to really make use of these opportunities, all these deep tech activities and so on. Good to see this year we had from the students body, we had a very good group that worked with us after the previous years difficulties that we had in handling the student executive committee. This time it was such a pleasure to work with this current team. Great job they did in Tiruchva and all those things. I'd like to thank our Gensec and his team for the good positive environment they brought back into these activities. So thank you very much. And of course, I'd like to thank all our colleagues. They've been very active in getting a lot of projects for the institute in terms of sponsored research. Everyone has been seriously, we have a culture in the institute. As soon as they come, they start working on sponsored research project, every department, including our humanities and everyone. So that's very heartening, and we're expanding our other programs also. This year, we're going to be launching coming year masters in computational engineering. The previous year we launched our first industry-oriented program on advanced energy storage, which has been sponsorship from the industry. We have companies like Amar Raja, JSW, sponsoring their people for our masters in advanced energy storage, and we're going to expand that program this year. So we are becoming again, we are trying to position ourselves strongly in the area of energy storage, both the battery and hydrogen. And when we are doing our targeted our hiring of new faculty, some of these core things that we have expertise. In fact, Germany, I got a call from Fraunhofer Institute that they want to do a major initiative on batteries with India. I think the state of Southern Saxony, where Brunswick University is. And along with Fraunhofer, Brunswick, and some industry in Germany, they want to start strong relationship with India. They've chosen IIT Tirupati to be the partner when we go to Nice, where I may have to go to even Germany to look at that thing. International collaborations, we have had a reasonably good relationship at Dalhousie University. Now, Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia, Canada, they are setting up what they call the DAL Tirupati Innovation Campus, because we have IIT and IISER here. So IIT, IISER, and Dalhousie University, we're creating an innovation campus. They want to come and have a physical presence here. And so that's another big opportunity. The president was here. Our team is going end of May to form up this IISER team, and the Tirupati team is going to Dalhousie to form up our relationship there on how to launch these programs in a strong way. So I can go on. I'd like to use this opportunity to congratulate all the people who are winning their prizes today and the awards for our staff members that will be given away. So we have a lot of work to do, a lot of opportunities, and let's all pull together and take this institute to a different height. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor, for your insightful words and your unwavering commitment towards the growth of our institution. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Professor Subhashish Chaudhary, former director of IIT Bombay and KN Bajaj Chair Professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering, fellow of INSA, IASC, INEE, and IEEE, distinguished researcher with over 100 journal publications and numerous prestigious accolades, including the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, Swarna Jayanti Fellowship, J.C. Bose Fellowship, G.D. Birla Award, and several others. He has been recognized as a distinguished alumnus of IIT Kharagpur. He has 106 journal publications to and over 25 conference presentations with over 10,750 citations and an H index of 50. He has authored 7 monographs and 13 national and international patents. He has held editorships of several international journals. He has guided 31 PhD students and 120 MTech students, and he is a member of governing board of Indo-US Science and Technology Forum, IUSSTF. Professor Chaudhary is an independent director on the board of Bombay Stock Exchange BSE Limited. After this short introduction, sir, we are deeply honored to have such an accomplished academician and a visionary leader amongst us. I request Professor Subhashish Chaudhary to kindly address and enlighten the gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, Professor Satyanarayana, the director of IIT Tirupati, other dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, staff members, students, their families, whoever here. It's a great occasion to be here on the 11th Foundation Day, and I'm delighted to be here. I feel honored that I've been asked by Professor Satyanarayana to be the chief guest. It's really a great honor. It's a great place. I've been seeing that and listening to the account that either the student, we call it Gymkhana, but here the students, your general secretary, as well as what the director, said about the kind of activities going on at that institute. It's truly marvelous. Now, on this, I would like to congratulate IIT Tirupati on this special occasion. This is the 11th Foundation Day. So that means it's still not a teenager, okay? It's still below that, right? And the way it has shown up, from starting from very modest beginning, of course, there was nothing there in this land, okay? And suddenly you have this wonderful campus, the kind of activities, buzzing with so many students, professors, activities. It's really a great journey. And for that, I congratulate each and every one of you, okay? Because C11 is very special. If you know as a kid, the first birthday is very important. And the 11th is the next one because you have 1-1. And I think, there's a next very, very important. I think the most important would be 111. Okay. 111th one. And by that time, I don't know where it will be. I think it'll be a great, great place to be here. And there's a lot of opportunities. And I'm sure IIT Tirupati will go there. And there's a reason for saying that also because it's easy to predict what is going to happen after another 100 years. Because it's not only me, none of you would be there, will live there to see whether I said right thing or wrong thing. Okay. So it's great thing, right? So it's good to say that. But the joke apart, there is maybe another thing I could say that, the kind of activities that's going on at IIT Tirupati, it's really wonderful. And he said something, your director, that he would be traveling more. Okay. And as a matter of fact, in today's world, particularly in IIT directors, the more the time director spends time on air than on his chair, that's a sign of how well they are doing. Okay. And this was actually said by one of our colleagues to one of our predecessor directors many years ago, that when he was trying to meet the director, okay, and the director was not available, saying, "Sir, you're more on air than on your chair." Okay. So this is happening. So that's a good sign because IIT Bombay, then after that, there's a very steep slope. And I'm sure you're the steep slope that is showing up. You will very soon beat IIT Bombay and go even further. So congratulations for that. Okay. Now, but having said that, particularly since you have a lot of students, faculty members, IIT is one brand name that India is always proud of. If you ask outsiders, okay, what is the best brand name that IIT could create, okay, post independence or something? It is IIT, okay. And when you say that, the responsibility of making sure that the brand name stays, okay. Now, this is a collective responsibility of the students, staff, and the faculty members, okay? Because unless they all participate and put up the best, okay, this is not what you're going to do is that you're going to dilute the band, okay? And I must tell you that, sometimes I've seen, many of you, by the way, will be receiving awards, okay, for the students particularly, that you think that when you get through the JE, life is achieved, okay, and there's nothing much to be done. But my way of saying is that what is done, okay, your JE, your rank, whatever, it's just forget it, okay. You'll be evaluated on what you are doing now, okay, how you are performing now. And once you are done, then whatever the next thing that you do. Similarly, when you have a faculty member coming in here, okay, you have done a great job, as a PhD, as a master's, whatever it is. And then you say, oh, no, I can relax. No, okay, there's no scope for that. Everything is forgotten. That's based on that, you have been able to come here. And once you come here, now go to the next level, you keep on delivering. And if that happens, that ecosystem gets created. That's where you will be always sure that your brand name stays and even it goes further up. Okay. Now, having said that, okay, I think I was thinking what to talk on. Okay. And given that what's happening, in recent time, I thought I'll talk about academia in general because that's the only thing I know. Okay. Not much of other things. Right. If you notice that academia is going through a very, very, not only interesting, but it's also a trying times. Okay. And I tell you what, okay, that why I say that. Okay. It's a could be called a difficult time also. Okay. And one of the thing, in my personal opinion, is that typically the what is happening since we are talking about IIT and the last T, the T stands not for T for Tirupati, but T for technology. It stands for technology. And what is happening in the technology space is that the growth, the progress is very fast. Okay. And if you have noticed, for those of you, maybe you can look at what's happening in some of the older IITs because your thing is you are still evolving. Normally, IITs are good in terms of revising their curriculum, making sure that you stay relevant, what is happening in the industry, what is happening, new thing coming up, all those things. You heard quantum, you heard about other things, AI, everything. Your director said that, and we are good in, ensuring that gets embedded into your learning process. Okay, but at the same time, there is another thing is happening is the evolution in the AI area. Okay, and that growth rate is much much faster than even the technology side. Okay, the other technology. And the reason I say is that by the time, let's say, I was asking professors here that what time do you get like some exposure course for the students, okay, on AI and others. So you have a data science course in the second year and things like that, right? Now, by the time you graduate after 4 years, like this thing, 4 year, that gets outdated. Okay. So every 6 months, even see what is happening, you have a technology which can last normal things, okay, maybe for 10-year lifetime, half life of that, maybe you can say that. But in that case of AI, it's even a faster process. So in signal processing, another area, this is usually called something two time scale problem. So that means you have one, certain set of activities run at what time scale, and there's another one running at a much faster, different clock rate, like you can say that. So what you learned in the, let's say, first year AI, supposing you do that, by the time you graduate, that's obsolete. Okay. So this is something even for us as a professors, very difficult to see how to update by the time you leave so that you are very good and you start being productive. So this is a big challenge, okay, to handle this kind of two time scale problem. Second thing is that another, particularly this AI and other, because of coming forward, one thing is happening is that the innovation space as well as the kind of development that happens, okay, it is moving partly out of academia to the industry, you know. So a lot of, it is not that there are some research, good research labs which is affiliated to industry, which has been there and they all, did good work historically and others. But now it turns out, okay, that the facilities, the kind of brain power and others that's happening in the industry sometimes is even overpowering what we have in the academia. Okay. Now, this is, of course, it's good from the industry perspective, but you have to look at the academia. See, many of us, when you join academia, we always say, oh, the best brain in the world always rests in academia. Okay. And then, we train them, they go out, they, produce things. And if you look at all these major awards and others, historically, if you look at what is happening, uh, it's always from the academia. Industry is more, make it applied, make it happen, make your life easy, but that's no longer there. It's many cases, particularly in our area, we see industry is actually doing even much better than what we are doing. Okay. So this is that. Does it mean that are we getting relevant academia? You have to look at that point of view. Okay, of course we have to train. Teaching is our, primary job, but overall, from the research and innovation space, okay, are we getting it relevant? And it's a question we should be asking. Okay, then if you look at that, then of course, then the question is, are we actually a burden to the society then? If you start looking at it, we are not performing what we are supposed to be. See, professors and others are supposed to be considered, the good student. Always people talk about, oh, there's great students, okay, great professor. But are we then, you know, when you said socially relevant, then actually we become a burden. Why? Because, this institute you talked about, like so much of construction, others, things like happening. This is all taxpayers' money, right? And with that, right, supposing we become not so relevant, and we were talking about IIT, and I tell you, with IIT Bombay, when I was during my tenure, we tried to calculate how much actually is the cost per student. Okay, it turns out that yearly, we spend more than 9 lakhs per student. Okay, so this is something that many of you do not know. So that's where is the money coming from? Okay, it's from somebody who is in the, like, maybe the driving auto, or somebody maybe somewhere else. Okay, some in serving in the border. Okay, it's from everywhere, right? So are we a burden to the society? And at the same time, currently, if you look at it, there is a, this is because of the introduction of AI and others, the industry is also getting little, I would say, unpredictable. And the job situation, just few days ago, just I think 2 3 days ago, I was talking to the CTO of a very very big company, and he said, Subhasish, do you know what is happening in the job? Okay, you look at the Silicon Valley, Stanford, which actually almost like the mother of breeding ground of all these innovations. So they are out of a class of 350, computer science undergraduate. Okay, this is less than 50 of them got placed. Okay, so that's a cause for concern. Okay, this is probably considered the best institute, right, and the best location. And if you look at in India, I've told that the first 3 quarters, okay, the number of new people who got job into the IT sector in India, only 17. And India, if you remember, the number of engineers we produce is about 1.2 million every year. Okay, so is that a cause for concern? Okay, we need to look at that. Okay. Second thing is, I don't know whether you've seen it. About a month ago, there was a kind of an article that came out from Azim Premji University that said that out of 40% of typically the graduate, those who are young graduates, they're unemployed. Okay. And if you look at an age group and that particular age group, which are graduate, and then, it's about something like more than at least 250 million people in India. Okay. That's like almost, close to the nearly, 3/4 size of the US population. Okay. So if that happens, they're doing something probably, or maybe may not be there. Are you over educating people? Okay. So that means you educate, but they are not getting the job that is the kind of incommensurate with the degrees that they get. Okay. So then if it's so, why are you doing it? Okay. And this is, if you look at historically, your number of people going into higher education was very low. In India, it was like by the time 1947, our gross enrollment ratio, that means those who are in the specific age group of around the 20, let's say, years or something, they were like less 1%, much less than even 1%. Today is about 28%, and we expect by another 5 years or so, this will be like 34%. Okay, and whereas in countries like US is about 50%. Okay, Europe is like that. So if that happens, then the question is, we have producing a lot more students. Okay, not necessarily everybody would be in technology and others in all areas they talk about. But what is at the end of the tunnel? What is there? That's something we need to look at that. Okay. And in that case, there is something that we academicians don't talk about, but because I'm now also there in completely a different thing I've never done, that is like, the stock market and others. So, right. So then we talk about supply, demand, and other things. So when you put that thing in the academias, with that perspective, I think personally it's a issue of something like supply and demand. So all our academic programs, our the educational ecosystem, there are different education commissions or that happen. They looked at mostly from the supply side, and we have never looked at probably very carefully on the demand side of it. So that's why this mismatch happens. Whereas in countries like Korea and others, they have done much better in terms of utilizing whatever the manpower. See what happened. See, manpower, you have the young manpower, they're the greatest asset of the country. Okay. And unless we are able to use them, so when instead of they being, like your manpower being, providing the dividend, it becomes a liability. So we have to be very careful in terms of, so this is something that I'm raising, okay, that it is there. But it's a good thing in India is, of course, that education, when you get this one, is relatively much cheaper, okay, compared to what you see in, let's say, US or few other places, okay. I mean, I gave you the numbers, like, what you are paying here, okay, which is nothing compared to what it costs for us. Whereas uh, in US, it's like $50,000 a tuition fee or something per year. Okay, that's what. So what it does is that it puts many people, people even in US, it's a very common problem that they raise, saying that by going into the higher education, okay, we were doing well, my family, whatever, parents and others, suddenly, and they took a lot of loan, and you are perennially in debt. You are never able to, because you don't get a good job, so you're not able to even your pay for whatever the yearly payments and others, right? Thankfully, that doesn't happen in India because typically we very fairly take, rarely take education loan in India is very rare. And even if it is, it's a meager amount. So it can be paid off in some sense. Okay. So that's a good thing because the state mostly takes care of it unless you go probably for the medical areas where probably the cost is a lot more. Okay. And if with that in mind, at this point, probably you think, I know it is like a cause of despair or what is it? Like I said all the bad things, right? What is a good thing, right? So I think so. The reason I say that to explicitly is that is it a point of despair that we are at a point? I would say no, definitely not. But it's a cause for concern, and people who are into educational administration planning, okay, we should look into that. Okay, the issue is that what are the things that probably we should do to ensure, the greater participation of people? Because if some part of the population is left behind, then of course the productivity comes down. Okay, so new. So what are the way forward that I think is not just always putting out the problems, that you have to find out the solutions. Okay, so excuse me. If you look at currently what is happening there, whenever such thing happens, it is not that this is happening now. Okay. Similarly, if a lot of people have, they said, oh, at the industrial revolution time, many people, would be out of job and things like that. And nothing happened. It opened up a lot of new avenues. Okay. Similarly, this thing happened when the computerization happened large scale. Oh, this way everybody is out, robot will do everything. Things. It did not happen. Okay. It created a lot more opportunities. As a matter of fact, in some sense, India came up very strongly after that. Okay, that's definitely a good point that I think we should say. Okay, just excuse me. So what it means is that at this point, okay, both from the student side as well as from those who are the education provider, we'll have to probably repurpose ourselves to see what would be the right kind of approach that we should take. And in this process, we need a strong handholding with the industry. I think Professor Satyanarayana mentioned many times during staying that so many companies are coming, then we are talking to them, we are, setting up research park, entrepreneurship centers. So I think it has to be there. And when you plan something, then in future, our plan should be, I would say, that we should embed industry into the academia, and academia should get embedded into the industry so that it's just like a seamless thing, because we said that many cases the industry is doing much better than what we are doing. Okay, in some cases of course the academia does better. Okay, it's not every area. So if we can have that kind of synergy, like you are housed right in the middle of, let's say, big plant. Okay, and then you keep moving things. Okay, and with this new idea of all this, the kind of online education others, so that even if you are not able to go, but you can see that. Okay, going to the internship, let's say many places, like there is an Anderson Little their report. This says that when you have this kind of, for students, they have job difficulties, and I'm not talking about IITs. Typically you will get good jobs, so I'm not talking about IIT students. Okay, we're talking about more from, so many colleges all over India. What happens to their output? So it is shown that those who have done some kind of internship during their program, okay, like in a company, the chances of getting a good job after that, okay, after you complete your degree, is increased by almost a factor of 2. Okay, so this is for the general people, right? So which means here also it happens, like many of you get pre-placement offers and things like this. Okay, because the industry really know this is very good because it is already trained, and I've seen this person, and I've known person is always better than an unknown talent. Okay. So that's the kind of philosophy that works. And they have actually done a large scale, I think, analysis and found that. Okay. So that's a good thing that I think we should look at that. Okay. Other one is that, you know, we need to look at the new technology that is coming up. Okay. See, sometimes at the faculty level, we say, oh, when the students is doing something, they should never use, like Chat GPT or Claude or whatever. And on the other side, oh, what can I look at quickly and something like that. And this is always a kind of a internal conflict in our mind. Should they use it? Should they not use it? And this is where I think we need to be a little bit more proactive, because it has been shown many times that use of them, okay, can be highly beneficial if you use it properly. Okay. And I can give you kind of an example, okay, where I think many of you, I don't know, maybe the older generation, okay, when they did like programming in C, one of the major book by, Knuth, okay, and he's a very famous computer scientist, okay, and one of the youngest, I think, person to have won this that special award, Turing Award, right? I think he's a very one almost like a Nobel laureate for computer science. Okay, and he said that, you know he could use, I think, one of those the AI engines to prove something which he was not able to prove for many years. Okay, it's very quickly they could do that. And now look at, this is a person who is at the topmost scientist. Okay. Similarly, if you look at, from, it's not only the computer science, you know, there is a famous mathematician, okay, Terence Tao. I don't mathematician, many of them they would know, is like a field medalist. Okay, very one of the, I think, most famous mathematician. Let's take it like this. And he said, whenever I try to solve some problems, okay, and they're, when they say we are solving problems, they're extremely difficult mathematical problem. Okay, he said, I always find that, use AI, okay, to help me to quickly and, solve the problem. So they found it is useful. Okay. So the question is that if that happens at the top level, okay, then what is the reason that we'll not use it for the learning purposes? But if you take some time, what happens, you, as a student, you take it as a very, I would say, the other way, to beat the system. Oh, the professor has given this. Okay, can I just use it overnight with this system and submit my homework? No, of course, then you are defeated. The purpose is defeated. So you have to, similarly, when you go to the job and others, right now, coding is almost like this is a piece of cake. That's what they say, right? So whereas most of the jobs were in the coding, if you look at the IT industry. So if you can use it, your productivity goes up. So the reason I'm saying that you have to increase the efficiency, so that wherever industry and others, they will find it a lot more useful in terms of having you there. And of course, I would say the last thing, and it was very nicely elaborated by your director, is that, see, finally, you know, all these existing companies, they, of course, many of them, they prosper. But if you look at many of them, they came up and become very big, okay, because they were great entrepreneurs, okay. So some of them, they, you know, they, I think, got into the ladder very quickly. Some of them maybe a little slower, okay. I mean, you see the cloth, okay, and it's very interesting, okay, that uh, the other day I was, see, I get a email. I kept on getting email from some lawyer's office in US, and saying that, some of my monographs, okay, as a matter of five of them, okay, have been used by Claude, okay, so in while training their system. So it's not that only my book, there are like millions of books everywhere, but they, some of the authors, okay, they made a court case in US, and they said that this is illegal. I'm the copyright owner, okay, and we should be compensated. So it became what is known as a class action suit. Okay. And then finally, Anthropic, okay, has to, they signed an 1.5 billion dollar settlement with this class action suit. The lawyer, the firm was actually in some sense to administer that. And I was supposed to do it. Initially, I thought, oh, there's maybe some phishing email and all. So every time I kept on deleting. Okay. At one point, I said, let me actually click the web page rather than their link. And I did search and said, yes, it is like this. Okay. Then I said, look, I wrote a letter to the publisher of this particular monographs, which was Springer Verlag, and said that, look, when I wrote the book, okay, this is not like a textbook, it's a monograph, research monograph. So purpose of writing the monograph is get the knowledge to the others, spread it out. And I have never written it for making money in terms of how much money I make it out of this. So I don't, and by the way, for each book, you're supposed to get something like $3,000. Okay. So it would be like 5 of them. So I said, I have not written this book for making money, and I don't think I should take it. Okay. So at the same time, I'm happy that Anthropic has taken this one. Okay. Of course, their deal was that Anthropic, there's nothing against learning from the book, but they downloaded from some site which was actually supposed to be a pirated site. I think that's why I'm told that case was like that. Okay. I said, I want to waive off my right, relinquish my right to whatever the amount that is due on me, and I want to give it back to Anthropic. Okay. And it turns out that Anthropic, I wrote same mail goes to all of them. Okay. Anthropic, the rich people, they said they never bothered. Okay. They never responded. Okay. Springer, so far they have not responded. Okay. But within 24 hours, I get a reply from that law firm saying, okay, we note your thing, okay, that you don't want to take it, but okay, we cannot give it back to Anthropic. Okay. The reason is that court case has been settled like this so that they cannot get, but on your behalf, we can give it to some other agency. I said, okay, go ahead, do it like this. So the reason I brought in is that, see, there is always a conflict in this thing in terms of use of this kind of AI learning, training, whatever it is. Okay. But we have to realize that there are some good aspects, and we should use in terms of making sure that whatever your research, your academic studies, the pursuit, they become a lot more efficient and it's better for you. Okay. So to summarize, okay, I would say that, with this, both I said some certain negative things, certain positive things, that typically I would say that, your job, things will change. It has happened in many times in the history, and it'll keep on happening again and again. So only option for you is to keep pushing the boundary of knowledge. Okay. As long as we are in this hollowed institution, in academic area, whether we are professors or students, our job is to keep pushing the knowledge boundary. And I'm sure, in that case, unless you do that, we get pushed out. Very, as I already said, that industry is doing sometimes better than the way the academia is doing today. Okay. And the other aspect that is there is that accept the change, reimagine yourself that I've been here with this particular thing, but tomorrow is a new beginning and I have to change. And this change, if you can do it in yourself, then I think you quickly adapt to the new system and you face less problems. Okay. So I think that's what, in my opinion, whatever my years of kind of experience in this particular in the being in the academia, I think that's my opinion. But with that, I would like to say that your life, you have to plan your life the way you think best benefits you. And also today, if you remember, is the 11th Foundation Day. And I said that I gave my best wishes for the 111th Foundation Day. Remember? And with that, before I finish, I must also congratulate each and every one of you who are going to get the awards today. It's a great achievement, and I'm sure that you will do even better in future. So thank you all. It's been nice talking to you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Your insights and experiences are truly valuable for students in the entire IIT Tirupati. Now we move on to an important segment on today's program, the Academic Awards Ceremony. The hard work and dedication of our students have brought them well deserved recognition, and it is time to honor them. I request our Dean of the Academic Affairs, Professor Dr. Ramakrishna Saigorti, to announce the name of students and today's chief guest, Professor Subhasis Chowdhury, and our esteemed director, Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, to kindly present the academic awards to the meritorious students. Sir, please.
Thank you. Uh, Good evening to all. First of all, hearty congratulations to all the awardees. Based on the academic performance for the academic year 2024-25, the merit awards for the 11th Institute Day are as follows. 3 awards will be given to the first year students, the top 3 students across all branches. The first prize goes to Srujan Maji from Computer Science and Engineering. The second prize to be given to Sarang Mittal from Computer Science and Engineering. The third prize is to be given to Subbalakshmi NB from Computer Science and Engineering again. Next, we have the awards for the second year BTech branch toppers. The merit award in the second year, BTech Chemical Engineering, is to be given to Devoit Adorat, SF. The merit award in second year BTech Civil Engineering goes to Kopula Veera Venkatesh. The merit award in second year BTech Computer Science and Engineering is to be given to Sri Krishna Madhusudanan. The merit award in second year BTech Mechanical Engineering is to be given to Veeravalli Vansi Krishna. Now, the awards for the third year BTech branch toppers is to be given. The merit award in third year BTech Chemical Engineering is to be given to Palak Kandelal. The merit award in the third year BTech Civil Engineering is to be given to Deep Sikha. The merit award in the third year BTech Electrical Engineering is to be given to Minchala Deni Kumar Reddy. The merit award in third year BTech Mechanical Engineering is to be given to Nanda Govind JV. Now we move on to the awards for the first year MTech branch toppers. The merit award in the first year MTech Civil Engineering, Geotechnical Engineering, Geotechnical Engineering is to be given to Anjana Krishna, KU. The merit award in the first year MTech Civil Engineering, Environmental and Water Resource Engineering branch is to be given to Tatavarti SSP CN Rohit. The merit award in the first year MTech Computer Science and Engineering is to be given to Annavarapu Sai Jagadish. The merit award in the first year MTech Electrical Engineering with microelectronics and VLSI specialization is to be given to Sriram VS. The merit award in the first year MTech Electrical Engineering under RF and microwave stream engineering stream is to be given to Y. Kavya Reddy. The merit award in the first year MTech Mechanical Engineering under Design and Manufacturing stream is to be given to Kodi Sai Kiran. The merit award in the first year MTech Mechanical Engineering under Thermal Engineering and Energy System stream is to be given to Kambala Kiran Kumar. Next, we have the awards for the first year MSc branch toppers. The merit award in the first year MSc Chemistry is to be given to Harsh Naveen Bhai Christie. The merit award in the first year MSc Physics is to be given to Vaibhav Pandey. The merit award in the first year MSc Mathematics and Statistics is to be given to Sandeep Kumar Barada. Finally, we have the award for the first year MPP. The merit award in the first year MPP Masters in Public Policy is to be given to Mohak Chowdhury. Once again, I congratulate all the awardees, all the best wishes for your success and future endeavors. Thank you.
We recognize the relentless contributions of those who work tirelessly behind the scenes of non-teaching staff. Their hard work and commitment ensure the smooth functioning of our institution. I request our registrar, Dr. K.P. Krishnakumar, to announce the names of the award recipients. So please. Once again, I would like to invite our chief guest and Dr. Sir and Director Sir to distribute the merit awards to the non-teaching staff.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the privilege of announcing the staff merit awardees of 2026. These awards are presented in recognition of excellence in service based on the performance and contributions of the staff to the institute over a period of 3 years from 2022 to 2025. Each award consists of a memento, a certificate, and a cash award of rupees 5,000. The awards are conferred on 5 categories: Group A, Group B, technical, Group B, non-technical, Group C, technical, and Group C, non-technical. A committee consisting of 5 members carried out a comprehensive and independent evaluation of all eligible candidates before arriving at the final selection. We did not receive any nominations for the Group C technical category. In the Group C non-technical category, there was only a fractional difference between the top 2 candidates. And the committee decided to confer the merit awards on both of them. This, however, is not to suggest that others are any less deserving. The committee had a truly challenging task in identifying the most deserving individuals from a pool of highly committed staff. As I announce the names, I request the awardees to come forward to receive their well-deserved awards. I also request the audience to encourage them with a warm round of applause. The awardees are Group A, Deputy Registrar, Rajan Babu, Finance and Accounts. Group B, Technical, Assistant Engineer, Civil Engineering Unit, Mr. Sentamil Selvan. Group B, Non-Technical, Section Officer, Finance and Accounts, Ms. Y. Sandhya. Group C, Non-Technical, Senior Assistant, Director's Office, Mr. Uday Kumar. Group C, Non-Technical, Senior Assistant, Recruitment, Mr. Gyanashekhar. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to all the awardees. Each one of them truly deserves this recognition. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for the exemplary service and dedication to the Institute. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Today, we have recognized the outstanding contributions in our institution. And this goes very rightfully that excellence is not an act but a habit, reflected in various arenas of mankind. We sincerely congratulate all the award recipients for your hard work and dedication and invaluable perseverance towards what you do to the institution. Now, I kindly request Professor K. N. Satyanarayan to present a token of appreciation to the chief guest of the day, Professor Subhasis Chaudhary. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir. I now request our registrar, Dr. K.P. Krishnakumar, to deliver the vote of thanks for today's event.
Please, sir.
Good evening to you all. It's my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion of the 11th Institute Day of IIT Tirupati. A moment of reflection, gratitude, and renewed commitment. At the outset, I express our sincere gratitude to our chief guest, Professor Subhashis Chowdhury. Sir, your presence today has added immense value to our celebrations. Your words, drawn from rich academic leadership and experience, will undoubtedly inspire our students, faculty, and staff as we continue to shape this institution. I extend sincere thanks to our director, Professor K. Satyanarayana, for his visionary leadership and for clearly articulating the path ahead for IIT Tirupati. His guidance continues to be the cornerstone of our growth. My appreciation to Dean Student Affairs, Professor N.N. Murthy, and Dean Academic Affairs, Professor Ramakrishna Gorti, and the Student General Secretary, Mr. Ajay Kumar, for setting the tone of today's function and reflecting the vibrant student spirit that defines our campus. We are grateful to all faculty members who are the intellectual backbone of this institute, and to our non-teaching staff whose dedication ensures that the wheels of this institution move smoothly every single day. Today's recognition of their contributions is both timely and well-deserved. A special word of congratulations to all our award-winning students and staff. You represent the excellence and commitment that IIT Tirupati stands for. I'd also like to express my sincere thanks and compliments to the organizing teams whose meticulous planning and seamless execution made this event a grand success. This includes, but not limited to, the housekeeping staff, the security staff, the team from the general admin, the engineering unit, the horticulture teams, the academic teams, the student affairs teams, the staff in the registrar's office, as well as the director's office. Managing such a significant program requires teamwork of the highest order, and today stands testimony to that. As we mark our 11th year, we are still in our formative phase, as amplified by Chief Guest himself. Perhaps just stepping towards our teenage years, long way off from the 111 years. These are the years where the foundations are laid with great care and conviction. We are building not just infrastructure, but systems, processes, and a culture. We are defining, implementing, and refining your blueprints, ensuring that what we build today stands the test of time tomorrow. There's a saying, we do not rise to the level of our aspirations. We fall to the level of our systems. At this stage of our journey, what we are carefully building, our systems, our processes, and our culture will define how high we can rise in the years ahead. In many ways, building an institution is like constructing a bridge, as my director will vouch for. The strength of the bridge is never judged by how quickly it is built, but by how well its foundations are laid, often unseen, often underappreciated. What we are doing today at IIT Tirupati is exactly that, quietly strengthening the foundations for generations who walk across the bridge with great confidence. On a personal note, this is my first institute day as registrar, and I complete about 10 months in this STM institution. These 10 months have reinforced one belief that the institutions are not built by policies alone, but people who believe in them and work together to make them meaningful. I'm grateful for the support extended to me by all colleagues across all sections. To all our distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and dear students, thank you for your presence today and being an integral part of this journey. As Helen Keller so aptly said, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. Let's continue to move forward together with shared purpose and collective commitment. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for that captivating and energetic vote of thanks. So we've come to the end of this formal session of our today's event. And I would request everyone to kindly stand in your places for the national anthem. We request everyone to refresh yourself and get energized with the refreshments that we have arranged outside, and kindly come back in like 15 to 20 minutes as we have some cultural programs arranged for you. Thank you. And signing off, Alada Gautami.
And this is Meghna.
Them out? Get any information?
No, sir. We just got something.
Not to him, I would say, for detailing them so late and giving me all heart attack.
So we had to finish this.
You have to keep it on your